Students, I don't think, are given credit, okay, for how much they know today.
Unfortunately, what students think they know may be far from the truth. In today's world of instant communication and 24/7 news cycle, it's easy to be deceived by the very organizations we trust for accurate information.
The media, in my opinion, has acquiesced to the will of those people in power, the politicians, that is.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines propaganda as the spreading of ideas, information, or rumor for the purpose of helping or injuring an institution, a cause, or a person.
Dr. Ken Meir, Associate Professor of Sociology from Appalachian State University and Program Director for the Master of Arts and Social Sciences, has a different perspective on the contemporary application of propaganda.
It's the intentional manipulation of news information to further a cause or to damage someone else's cause.
The concept began with Pope Gregory XV in the early 1600s. During this time, he held conventions called Congregatio de Propaganda Fide, or Congregation for Propagating the Faith, to spread Catholicism across Europe.
In the early times, what they did, it was just word of mouth. And what you have are opinion leaders. And so the early priests, cardinals, they were the opinion leaders. And people buy into that based on that person's assumed authority.
Hitler advanced the evolution of propaganda to a malicious form of communication. His war rallies clearly manifest this shift in government relations.
And you would have the Nazi swastikas and the war eagles in the background, and the big panning shots of the adoring crowd and Hitler up there pounding his fist and doing his thing. But that's all the people were allowed to see. So if you have a complete and total control of the media, there's nowhere else for these folks to go get their information.
But today we have multiple sources of information, yet we still suffer from the effects of propaganda, now under the guise of public relations.
I would argue it's probably a very fine line between public relations and propaganda. What we call, I like calling putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. You try and make it look pretty, but the message is still the same underneath.
So how does this affect us individually?
There's an old line in politics that all politics is local.
Whether or not you agree with the war in Iraq, nearly 2,900 soldiers have died. But we never fully grasp the shocking realities of war since the American media deprives the citizens of those images.
The media instead, like a pack of wolves, go barking towards whatever story is making the most news.
So we asked Dr. Monica Pombo, professor of mass media and society at Appalachian State University, about her thoughts on the fickle nature of our media in America.
I think the media can be used as a propaganda tool. And I think reporters have to be very cautious if they're giving information to the public that is manipulating information, misrepresenting information for the gain of a specific group.
Reporters who aim to shape their viewers' thoughts and decisions do so by using emotive language and other techniques to strike a chord with the audience.
Have to get people's emotions. You have to have a sense of the pulse of the population.
Fortunately, the pulse of the unaware American population is slowing. People are starting to critique what they hear and see without blind acceptance. Politics are now changing. This is evident in the current midterm elections.
There's a movement away from the right middle, and I think we've moved to the left middle now. And I believe it's because the media is starting to reel back and starting to ask the hard questions.
That may be true, but the PR of politics is here to stay, perpetually blurring the lines between propaganda and public relations.